Hello. Hope everyone's doing great. Thank you guys for chiming in. Don't know who's on yet until your name pops up. Hope you guys are doing good. Very sad moment in the updates, the verdict in the case of Breonna Taylor. Um, I'm just as disappointed as each and every one of you. Say hello to Erica Spotford, who is watching right now via YouTube. Uh, Good to see you, Coop. Thank you for stopping in. You guys know before I get into what I need to say, let me give you a disclaimer. One, I curse. I curse. Okay. And two, those of you who've just now watching me for the first time, you need to know what disclaimers, especially for you guys. I curse, one, and two, I say things that is not going to be in cahoots with the masses. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to say some things that may not make any sense to you. Is because I come from a different cloth in terms of an entrepreneurial mindset. I tend to think like the one percenters, and that's where I spend my time with. Um, and I'm not the kind of guy who believes in doing the same shit all over again and expected a different result. So you're going to hear a little bit of that coming out of me in terms of what hasn't worked, what we've been doing for decades, and what I believe will work, and show you some evidence of what I believe will work and why it works and how it works. So I'm going to go into this. As we all know, Breonna, Breonna Taylor did not receive justice at all for her death. Not 1 cent of it. Um, Officers involved in the shooting, from what I understand, I didn't get all the facts, but allegedly uh, he was only charged for the bullets that hit inside the house but didn't hit people, but he didn't get charged for the bullets that killed Breonna Taylor. Folks, let me just share one thing. And when President Obama was in office, okay, um, um, when Breonna Taylor was, all right, let me address this real quick. All right, this woman, whoever this is, she's trolling and saying Breonna Taylor. She said Breonna Taylor lived in a trap house, and I'm glad you did that because I did give a disclaimer to all of my listeners who haven't heard me before that I do curse. So let me just say this right now. Let me say your name is Kikistan Kikistani 99. I think that's what your name is. Let me ask you this question, and let me just say this. If someone live in a trap house or a crack house whatsoever, what the fuck does that have to do with murder? This woman was murdered. This woman was murdered. I don't know who you are. This woman, I don't know who you are, but let me tell you what you are. Let me tell you what you are. You a bootlegging, button licking, rat suit, insecure eating, bat suit eating, insecure MF. That's what the fuck you are for saying some stupid ass shit like that. It's people like you It is people like you who try to justify every motherfucking thing that goes wrong in this country. You are the fucker who is wrong with this goddamn country right now. You. Every time someone gets murdered, you racist assholes want to try to throw up some shit that they have done wrong or some situation they've done wrong, and none of that shit justifies fucking murder. Clean your ass. And I wish she was right here, right in front of me, because I would spit all types of shit in your goddamn face right now. But let me say something to you, because I know you're not black, saying some dumbass shit like that. Let me tell you the real reason you motherfuckers are racist. First of all, you ain't got the dicks we got. Let's start there. Second of all, nature is making you motherfuckers extinct. The Census Bureau even put out an article, a study of it, stating that your race is more of you are dying than they are being born. You can't reproduce like us in this planet. That's fact. That's not racist. That's calling a fucking spade a spade. That is exactly the damn truth. And I'm not saying anything against anybody who is white. That is not racist. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm not talking about patriots. People who have a good heart. I'm talking about these racist motherfuckers. That's who I'm talking about right now. That's what racism is about. That's what it's about. You don't have the dicks we have. You can't fuck like we fuck. You can't produce like we produce. You don't have the melanin that we have that protects us from too much sunlight. This brother said, or this sister said, Black Americans need to come back to Africa. I'm getting to that. That's coming. I'm getting to that. Let me share something, folks. Now that I chewed out this racist asshole who just commented earlier talking about she lived in a trap house. Who gives a fuck what kind of house she lived in? That's straight murder. That's murder. It's 100% murder. Don't come on my fucking post if you're a racist. I will eat your ass up. And I eat your ass up in person. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't run from no goddamn body. I will say what the fuck I'm going to say. I'm not like these other black motivational speakers who scared to fucking say what they need to say because they scared they're going to lose followers. I don't give a fuck about followers. This shit is important to me. It should be important to you. Fuck, I'm making money. Money ain't an issue with me. I don't lose money if I lose followers. If I got any followers who believe that it was justifiable that this woman was murdered, fucking unfollow me right now. And if you're a friend of mine, fucking delete me right now. Before I find out who the fuck you are. And black folks, you know I beat up on us the hardest. You know why? Because we keep allowing shit like this to go down. And we thinking marching and rioting is the answer. That shit ain't been an answer in decades. 4 or 5 decades, that shit ain't did nothing. It ain't did nothing. straight murder. Don't make no damn sense. I am disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know why I'm not surprised? Because there's a little thing that's deeper than racism that I know go on. It's deeper than racism. You know what it is? It's systemic racism. The right is racism. The left, systemic racism. That's right. You ready to go vote for Biden? That's systemic racism. These motherfuckers been giving you crumbs off the table for decades. They give you crumbs off the table and you think you got a meal. That is systemic racism. That's the racism that you don't see. That's the racism that's buried in your subconscious mind. That's the racism that got you thinking that you are supported by a government that wants to keep you on welfare. That's the racism that you don't understand. That is systemic racism. Do you know who Antifa is? Antifa is come from the left. That's democratic shit. They're the ones doing the rioting. Even if you are protesting peacefully, the Antifa are paid by people, I'm going to say allegedly because we're on social media, allegedly are paid by people such as George Soros to wreck your damn city up. They are paid to wreck your city up. Paid organizations. And then when one of them gets handled, you get mad and think that they treat them wrong. They ain't treating them wrong. They're getting their ass locked up for damaging people's city. And if you pay attention, this type of shit is going on in Democratic ran cities. None of that shit's going on in Republican cities. They're not having it. And I'm not saying that to support Republicans. I don't support neither one of them. Left wing, right wing, same fucking bird. But I'm going to throw out the facts. If you don't like it, I'm sorry you don't like it. Actually, I'm not sorry you don't like it. Do something about it. Clean up your fucking communities. Protect your fucking community. Have a different mindset so you can have a different idea on what we're going to do to battle fucking white supremacy. Because whether it's racism or systemic racism, it's all white supremacy. Whoever you vote for during the election is racist. It ain't no fucking lesser of the two. They both are equally fucking evil. Doesn't matter. You won't fucking wake up. I tell people what they need to do. What we need to do as Black America. We don't need to run back to Africa. Everybody can't run back to Africa. Fuck running. You're going to be treated differently going back over there too. We've been away from Africa for 400 something years. You got people who go over there right now and tell you that they're looked at and treated differently because they're African Americans. As a matter of fact, look at some Africans come over here and treat you differently because they think you're uneducated. They think you don't know about the motherland. They treat you differently. You're going to be treated differently everywhere you fucking go. So you got to make where we are now, we got to make that work and we need to make it stick. So people may ask me, oh, what shit, we can't march, what we going to do? We going to vote, what we going to do? The most powerful people in this country right now is African Americans, folks. Did you know that? Let me tell you something. I'm going to say something that you're not going to agree with. But I'm going to tell you one thing, it will work. And I know it will work. You are not, and I'm giving you a disclaimer on this right now. You are not going to agree with this. And here it is. We're the most powerful people in this country. To address this injustices that's going on, none of us need to fucking vote. None of us. Somebody came to me the other night, told me that I'm leading, what I'm saying for black people is bad for black people because I'm saying don't vote. No fucking vote. If you don't vote, they got their asses is stuck. We make a $1.3 trillion consumer debt right now. There's no way we can't start building our own communities. There's no way we can't rebuild the Black Wall Street. There's no way we can't build a black parliament and have our own political system in a parliament where we can vote for our own prime minister here in the United States. Y'all are not ready for that type of shit. And I told you, you ain't going to agree with it, but that's exactly what it's going to take. And if you're not willing to do what it's going to take, then good luck following the same shit that you think that you're supposed to be doing. Oh, I'm voting. You voting for the same people who's going to follow the same protocol. Let me say that again. You're voting for different faces, but the same protocol. You're voting for the same fucking protocol. Doesn't matter if it's Trump, doesn't matter if it's Biden, Kamala Harris. You're voting for the same fucking protocol. It's the protocol that's beating us the fuck up. Not the people, it's the protocol. They have to follow the protocol. Systemic racism is deeper than racism. Anybody who thinks it's justified that that woman was murdered need to go kiss an orangutan's ass. I don't care who you are. You can be my fucking relative. Y'all would tell you the same thing. If you think it's justified that for that woman's murder, go kiss an orangutan's ass. And then go kiss your spouse afterwards. This country has gone to shits, man. Ladies, how long are you going to stay in an abusive relationship with your spouse, with your husband or your boyfriend, before you wake the fuck up and say, you know what, I need independence from this man? Same as black people. When are you going to say we need independence from this fucking government? And that independence come in black parliament. We have our own system. We can do that. This is a free enterprise. We can do that. We can elect our own prime minister here in the United States. We create our own fucking parliament. We create our own, we rebuild Black Wall Street. Right here. If you want better, then you got to separate yourself from what's not better. It's the same thing. It's an entrepreneurial mindset. If you're the smartest person in your group, then you need to find a new group. If you're hanging around criminals and you want a better life, then you need to stop hanging with criminals. You need to get away from the criminals. If we're under a government that would never ever change, first of all, this government was never created for us. It was never created to give us equality. Never was. And if we're tired of it, then we need to separate ourselves from it. Isn't that fucking common sense? People are so hell bent on who to vote for during the election. And none of those motherfuckers gonna do shit for you. None of them. This shit is going on, folks, for a reason. It's for a reason. Every ethnic group in this country, in this world, can get a job without leaving their community. Chinese kids don't have to leave their community to get jobs. Japanese kids don't have to leave their community to get jobs. Jewish kids don't have to leave their community to get jobs. Black kids got to go everywhere just to try to find a decent job. And they're going to get turned down many times before they even find somebody who just say, we'll hire you because of affirmative action. They can't look to anybody black for a fucking job because everybody else is black has followed the same system that their kids are duplicating. They're looking everywhere else for a job. Don't you guys think it's time that we get away from that fucking mindset? Start creating our own farmland, our own grocery stores. How many Chinese people you see shopping at Publix? How many Chinese people you see shopping up at Safeway and Giant up in the DMV? How many people you see shopping at your normal grocery stores where you live? They produce for themselves. We don't. And because we don't. And as long as you keep voting for all these racist ass people, whether it's Biden or Trump, even Kamala Harris, all the motherfuckers race, they ain't got shit, no interest in black people at all. And as long as you keep going to the polls, voting for these motherfuckers, that is their narrative. They create the narrative. You give them power to create any narrative they want to create over you. Tell me I'm lying. Nobody deserves to get murdered in their own home. I don't care. Woman trying to say she was in a trap house. Who the fuck cares? What if that was the best she can afford to live in at the time? You don't know her situation. You don't know why she was there. That woman is documented. That woman that woman has a decent job. I'm pulling her up right now. Oh, he was in a trap house. Doesn't fucking matter. Does not matter. This woman was a emergency medical technician, 26 years old, emergency medical technician. That's a good, decent job. She's an emergency medical technician. This woman had a job. I don't care what house she was in. She paid her taxes as a decent citizen should. She was murdered. She was murdered. This person said Breonna Taylor was a dope dealer. You got some people on Twitter trolling. How do you know she was in the life? Can you prove she was in the life? Can you prove she was in the life? What life are you in? If you think she was in the life, how can you know? And you're using the slogan that people in that life uses. So you must be in the life. You must be a dope dealer your damn self, or you're a fucking crackhead. You must be in the life. You're using the same slogan they use that they use in that life. Search warrant is for her. That does not. She said, this person said a search warrant was for her. If there was a search warrant for her, then why was she murdered? Why was she murdered? Why was she murdered? You don't issue a search warrant to somebody that you're coming to murder. Point blank. Point blank. Point blank. None of this shit you're saying, whoever your fuck your name is, Aquanets Bay. What kind of name is that? Anybody who got A warrant does not need to get murdered. She didn't have a warrant for murder. They murdered that woman. You white supremacists come up on my page thinking that you're going to justify this woman being murdered? Really? Really? Regardless of what this person is saying, this bat soup eating ass motherfucker on my page talking this dumb shit. Let me say this. Black folks, it's because of people like this person here that just popped up on my screen. It's because of people like that is the reason you need to let these motherfuckers suffer by separating yourself from this fucking government. It's people like that. That's white supremacy. If this person thinks this way, her leaders, this person's leaders thinks that way. Their leaders goes all the way up to the people that you're trying to vote for, folks. This person's leader goes up to the people that you're voting for. And this person is trying to tell me I worship victimhood. And you worship asshole demons. That's who you worship. That's who you worship. You worship asshole demons. I worship humanity. That's what I worship. That's what I worship. We're not victims of anything. I challenge you to walk up to any black man on the street right now and tell them that he worships victimhood. And see when he knock your racist ass the fuck out. You worship, this person say you worship people who make correct choices. So murdering an unarmed woman in her home is a correct choice. I'm not an ex-con, sir. I'm not an ex-con. I have a clean record. I have a clean record. I have a clean record, sir. As a matter of fact, I got projects that's going on internationally that you would never even be able to touch. Period. So, folks, you need to separate. You need to separate yourself. The system has never been for black people. Period. Period. And those of you who know me, I beat up on black people more than anybody. So, folks, you got people who want to troll. But guess what? He's boosted my algorithm. This person is promoting me. Whoever this person is, Aquanet Bay, thank you. Thank you. You actually boosted me up. So keep trolling. You keep on trolling. I know who I am. You know who I am. That's why you're on my page. You admire me. You see, folks, you got to understand the people that loves you will support you, but the people who hate you will promote you. You got to understand that most of your wealth is going to come through controversy. It's going to come through people who wants to troll you. It's going to come through people who hate you. It's going to be from people who are jealous, who hate you. That's jealousy. You got to understand this, folks. You got to understand that. So separate yourself, people. You got to separate yourself. I told you, you can create. This is a world of free enterprise. This is a world of free enterprise. So you have all the power. You have all the knowledge that you need. All you have to do is position yourself to be around people who are successful. We can recreate Black Wall Street. That's not a problem. That can be done. It takes concentration. It takes focus. Our parliament takes focus. That's exactly what it takes. So think of it. Think of this, folks. As long as you're doing something right, you're going to have people like this person that's popping up right here. You're going to have people like this person who's want to try to come along and try to shut down what you're doing. But God has a plan for them. You don't worry about them. Yeah, they bombed Black Wall Street, Paul Dyson. That's right. But it could be recreated. Because when you do that, you hit Wall Street in the pockets. Our parliament will hit Congress in the pocket. Let me tell you something, folks. The Washington Redskins changed their name recently. They changed their name. They're called the Washington Football Team. The Washington Redskins changed their name. And as they changed their name, they didn't change the name because of the Indians been protesting for decades. They changed their name because Dan Snyder's pockets was hit. Dan Snyder's pockets was hit. People with money went to his pockets. FedEx said that we'll take our name off the stadium if you don't change the name because of the climate that we're living in right now. So now when his pockets was affected, he changed the name. Same situation with Wall Street. Wall Street runs this country, folks. You got to understand that. Wall Street runs this country. You hit Wall Street in the pockets. You hit the government in their pockets. When you create a parliament, you hit the government in the pockets. When you hit Wall Street by creating Black Wall Street, you hit the government in the pockets. They're willing to come talk to you now because they don't want to lose their bottom line. You affect the bottom line, you make progress. Not rioting, throwing bricks, walking with picket signs. That's not helping us. It did some good in the 60s. It's not doing any good anymore. We have to look at it like mentoring and parenting. You do something, you create something, you pioneer something, and you leave it for people behind you to take it and make it better. So we need to take what Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, we need to take what these people have done and make it better. Make upgrades to it. Don't duplicate the same thing because that only worked in the 60s. That worked 40, 50 years ago, not today. You guys see what I'm saying? So anytime there's going to be one of us murdered, they want to come up and try to throw some information, even some misinformation to try to justify the murder. No murder should be justified. So that's all I'm giving you guys. I'm getting up out of here. I got work to do. Peace and blessings, folks. Sing like no one can hear you. Dance like no one can see you. Love like you've never been hurt. And live like it's heaven on earth. J. Hunter Lee. I love you and the world needs you. And Aquanets Bay, you need prayer. But I'm not praying for you. Have a good day, folks. Take care.